Today, I'm challenging YouTubers from around the world to a hot lap challenge in this. A 4-speed H-pattern open-wheel race car that literally anyone is allowed to drive. Assuming, of course, we got $375 lying around. I was fortunately invited here by my friend Tom, who is a football creator. Now, I told Tom that if he achieved a lap time within 5 seconds of my own, then I'd be thoroughly impressed. But there are other YouTubers here that have a lot more experience behind the wheel who I'll have to keep an eye on. For example, Chris MD is a member of the Senior Frogs karting team, which has found some amazing success at the Buckmore 24-hour over the years. And then there is Hayden Gillis, a professional sim racer. So if I want to win today, I'll have to bring my A game.
Here we go. About to try out the Formula Silverstone experience. Haven't been in an open wheel car in nearly 2.5 years, so I'm probably going to be a little bit rusty. But God, I'm happy to be back in a race car. So that's good. We're behind the pace car. I think we're doing a couple pace laps just to make sure everything's working, and then we're off to the races.
So before they let us get the keys to the kingdom and drive at full speed, we had to do a couple of very painful laps behind the safety car. Now, to be honest, this is still a really useful period of time because especially if you haven't driven a race car before, everything is going to feel different. The pedals, the gearbox, the steering wheel, everything, and you need that time to just get readjusted. And then once the pace car pulls off, it's all up to you. This car has a 4-speed non-synchronized gearbox we'll talk more about a little bit later. We have no traction control, no ABS. This is as raw as it gets. And keep in mind, all the YouTubers on track today are either in the F1 scene or just huge fans, so for them to be driving this slow just shows how scary it is to drive a Formula car for the first time. But as you'll see as the day goes on, everyone picks up the pace quite a bit.
So we can't overtake unless we get blue flags, and we can only overtake on straights just for safety. Obviously, no one else has had any proper racing experience, so we've got to be a little bit patient today. God, there's nothing better than that. Especially without earplugs, this is crazy. Oh man, I miss driving single seaters. God, I miss it so much. The only thing I don't trust is the brakes. I'm braking really early. We're on rain tires in the dry.
And before I knew it, just as I was getting up to speed, I had already caught up to some traffic. Luckily for me though, this is just practice and the real time is going to be counted in qualifying. But unfortunately for me, the checkered flag has already come out, which means I'm gonna have to spend the first couple of quali just getting used to it still.
All good?
Yeah, all good.
Is that better than an F3 car, is it?
You know what? The sound's not bad.
Sounds not bad, it's just the grip.
Yeah, there's no grip, but that's fun, man. I love that.
At least everyone's on the same boat. If that...
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's hard to get into fourth. Like, you really
You've
gotta.
got to try and be a little bit savage with it,
Yeah.
but nice and smooth as well.
Yeah, I'll try it. It's rewiring my brain again.
Coming up next is that all-important qualifying session, but before we got back into the cars, Tom and I decided to have a little debrief. Now, Tom being a longtime athlete himself, I was curious if there was any overlap between the football field and what he felt in the Formula car. I was fully expecting him to say absolutely nothing, but to my surprise, he actually said there was. Tom talked about how he had to develop his peripheral vision to be good at football. For example, he tries to keep his eyes as pinned as possible on the ball, and then he uses his peripheral vision to keep tabs on the players around him. And he found as soon as he got in the race car, he was instantly starting to do that. He was keeping his eyes looking towards apexes, exits, and other references, and then he was using his peripheral to keep an eye on the track width and other cars around him. That's honestly more similarity than I was expecting, but will it allow him to get within 5 seconds of my lap time? Well, there's only one way to find out. Alright, now it is time for quali, and my first strategy of the day was to start at the back of the pack, meaning while I was warming up the tires, I was able to just overtake cars one by one so that by the time my tires were up to temp, I had clear track. Now that big spike in RPMs was a misshift into 4th gear. Since this is a manual non-synchro gearbox, you can actually shift the gearbox without using the clutch, in theory.
Time to put in a lap.
But this particular gearbox has seen better days, so it really wasn't liking that 3/4 shift without a clutch. And even sometimes with the clutch, it just wasn't happy. I might have a microphone in my helmet right now, but the reason you're barely hearing a peep out of me is because I am fully focused trying to drive this car.
Oh, big lock up.
But on the bright side, my downshifts are sounding a lot better lap by lap.
Understeer in the mid corner.
I'm also getting a feel for the grip of these tires now that I have some heat in them, and I'm not really sure if they're rain tires or standard road tires, but they are very numb compared to proper racing slicks you experience on like an F4 car, for example. At this point, I'm starting to get really nervous because I haven't had one full clean lap without traffic, and surely I'm gonna need one to win this shootout. By my estimation, I might only have 1 or 2 more shots at this, so I've gotta put a lap together. This lap wasn't looking half bad, but yet again, we ran into traffic just at the end of the lap. We've got just 60 seconds on the clock, so it's literally now or never. I gave it absolutely everything that lap. Sure, maybe I lost a little time with that slow start on the straight with the traffic, and maybe also the cone stuck in the middle of the corner probably didn't help either, but all I can hope for now is that we did enough everywhere else.
Woo, that was so much fun. Proper race cars, man. Like, I didn't know what to expect, but yeah, I mean, other than the fact that these are on rain tires, I mean, it's basically like almost a Formula 4 car. It really gives you the proper experience of what it's like to drive one of these things. What a cool experience. And the fact that any of you guys can do this is pretty crazy as well. All you need is a driver's license.
Moment of truth.
I've got your lap times here. I'm going to hand them out. I would have to say that the man who would be on pole position, if it had been qualifying, which it wasn't, you can all make yourself feel better by understanding that he's actually an ex-champion race driver. So you can take that.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, we did it.
What's really impressive here is Cameron did a 102.727. To give you a perspective, customer at the weekend wouldn't get anywhere close to that time. An average customer, a good customer time at the weekend for our retail, probably about 1 minute 6, 5, 6, something like that. A really good customer doing it. The man who really impressed me as well in terms of his time, he would be on the front row of the grid alongside Cameron with a time of 103.908, really rapid. Where's Hayden? Give him a round of applause. Hayden, come on!
Wow, 1.2 seconds off Hayden is very, very impressive.
But as it turns out, he wasn't the only one who impressed me today.
Where am I, man? I'm terrified. Where have I ended up? Yep.
Here we
Here we go, moment of truth.
P4, second row.
P4!
That's not bad, man. That is not bad.
I will take. Am I within? Mate,
You're within 5 seconds.
I'm within 5 seconds.
Nice job, man. That's impressive.
I'm actually buzzing with that. Oh, that's.
I don't know if I'm just slow or everyone's doing really, really well.